The grapes are doing amazing this year, and I know I haven't been showing a lot about the maintenance of them, taking care of the wires and pounding posts and fixing the anchor wires, but there are a ton of videos that I've taken last year that you can go and check out. In the last video, I showed you the mess I was dealing with as far as that sill plate beam. And I cleaned it all up and took the sliding glass windows out. Now it's time to get to the situation where I fix the problem. Okay, so now that I've got the subfloor out, I can start taking out these plank boards and this 2x6 that's on top of the sill beam so I can see what's in here. Don't worry, that 4x4 post is holding up the corner of this building, so we could pretty much chop all this out and get to the problem. Okay, so here's what I'm going to attempt to do. This lumber is not rotted all the way through, so what I'm going to do is make myself a line here. And try to cut this back to this line. And hopefully I've got some solid wood I could attach. New wood too. Okay, that turned out better than I thought it was going to. I've got about 2 inches of lumber there on that beam. There's a little bit more rot on the bottom there, and I'll clean it out. But I have something really good to bite into when I put some new treated lumber there. So let's see what the other side has to offer, and we'll get back to this one later. So about 30 years ago, apparently the remedy for the rotten board was to fill it with concrete. And you can see where it's all jagged, where the old wood used to be in there. And as far as this all the way down through here, That's solid. It's been there for 30 years and it still looks the same way as it did then. And no, I was not involved in that. Somebody else did that project. In fact, this whole room was renovated in like 1994. So that's what we have to work with. I'm wondering if I'm going to just take that thing out, but it's attached to the floor joist in there, so I could be opening up a bigger mess if I don't try to work with the wood that's here. So let's see what happens. I don't know if you can see how thick this beam is, but that's about 3 inches, I would say. About 3 inches. Maybe a little more. I worked on this some more and got it squared up so I could start sistering some lumber to it. And then I made the decision to cut this section out too as well, because it was all pithy, if that's what you want to call it. So let's get on with the next step. Okay, I didn't get this on video, but I scribed these 2 boards so that they can fill in the space. And I probably have to do a little bit of shimming to bring it out flush with this beam. But that's a good start at any rate. And now we'll get on with this part and figure that out. Which means, of course, these will be cut. But we'll determine that in a little bit. Okay, I've searched YouTube and Google and everything I could come up with. And because this is a real stone wall, these are cut block stones. And everything is kind of a little uneven. Nothing's exactly level. And especially how I had to carve out this beam here. So this is my solution. Henry's makes this product patch and level. It's designed to be exterior and interior and works with masonry and wood. So with that being said, this is how I chose to do it. I'm setting these 2x on the wall, and like mortar, I've smushed it in there. That's no more than a 1/4 inch thick, which is recommended in the floor patch. And now I'll show you the process on the other side of this corner. So, this may not be the way you would do it, but you weren't here when I was trying to figure this out. Nobody on the internet had an answer to it, or Google. So I'm just going to put this patching level all down through here. I don't really care about its bond. I more care about it being a spacer to level this out. And then when I have this 2x, well, it's not actually a 2x, on here I'll have a basis to screw into. And believe me, this beam is here. It's not going anywhere. So this, between attaching it to this and this, I'll have a strong foundation here. So I'm going to stick this in here like this. Yeah, might as well fill this crack in. I'm treating this just like a mortar, as if I was doing stone wall, only because they said this was a ideal for wood and masonry, exterior or interior. That's how I came about making the decision to use this. Just a little bit more. Looks like I need just a little bit more right here. There is no more than a 1/4 inch gap here on anything. I'm just using it to squeeze it out real good. And seeing since I have plenty of other things I could do, I'm going to let this sit here for a few days and cure up. For all you people that think I'm nuts, go ahead and leave a comment. Every comment counts. I don't claim this to be a how-to. I'm just saying this is how I did it. That gives me a nice foundation to work off of at this point. And we'll let that sit for a couple of days. Okay, because I had to chisel all the rot out of this sill beam, it left it a little uneven here. So what I made myself was a shim board that I can stick in here and make it nice and square and plumb to the beam. Then I can cut myself some 2x6s, and that way it'll be nice and straight with the existing beam. I want that to squish in real good. which is good because this is a rough beam, so it should attach to it pretty good. Although it really doesn't need to be all that. Put a level on that, make sure it's nice and plumb. Perfect. So on the opposite side, I was able to use a 2x6. And what I did here is I notched it through so I can screw it. So I can screw it to this 4x4 post, locking it in. So I'm doing this all in stages. This wonky board right here is going to come out as soon as I know that this corner is nice and strong and supported. But right now it's coming through and tied into this post here. And then now I can attach a second layer. Put that in there real quick. I'm going to screw this together. Okay, one more piece here at 30¼ inch, and that will complete this side, getting us to ground zero to where we can start building off of it again. With lumber prices the way they are, make sure you use anything and everything you have laying around the property and recycle it. This was a perfect piece of board that came off of a fence. Is it pretty? No, but I can guarantee you that'll last another 100 years or more. So all I need to do now is cut 2 more. Okay, like I said, it's not pretty, but it's solid. You could bang your head on that all day long, and it ain't gonna move nowheres. So let's figure out what we're going to do with this other side. Now that I'm confident that the other side is solid, I can get rid of this board and this board here. This is actually supporting quite a bit, or was. So let's see how that works out. put a little notch in here. This seems to fit real good. Cool. Let's get that sucker screwed down. $35.25. Okay, so now there's a matter of fixing this little situation. And these peel and stick tiles are awesome because they can't compress. And these aren't your cheap peel and stick. These are a high quality peel and stick that we used in the bathroom upstairs. So what I'm going to do, because a 2x4 is just not thick enough, now shove it in there like this. Not only that, that's slippery, so hopefully this works out. And take the hammer and slam that sucker in there. Oh, that's a tight fit. Hey, that worked a lot better than I thought. So here, I'm going to go off camera and try to square this up. We'll get a level on that sucker. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. And now I can screw that sucker down. For those of you that are concerned that I used construction adhesive to fill in gaps, don't be. This construction adhesive has been here for 30 years and it's solid. Okay, so this side isn't pretty either. But if you get tired of banging your head all over the other side and you need a break, start banging your elbow all over it, because you ain't gonna move this side either. If you've been enjoying the content that I have to offer, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to smash the little bell button so you can be notified of videos to come.
Oh yeah? You're looking at me? What?